And then the Sony rep said, at least she's not as bad as Blake Lively.
Blake Lyerly's attorneys tell the judge that she will be showing up next week for her deposition.
And then the Sony rep said, he's horrible too. He's a horrible person. Both of them are horrible to work with. And I was like,
after
what?
subpoenaing content creators and celebrating a false win, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds just got exposed by a Sony executive no less. Word is their off-camera behavior isn't just unfriendly, it's toxic. And now, with their legal team scrambling and a key deposition set for July 17th, the mask is slipping fast. In a recent video, Flossom told how a Sony executive, of all people, broke rank, exposing what many in the industry had only whispered about. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds aren't just Hollywood's golden couple, they're toxic royalty.
Between us journalists, we were always like, oh, Ryan is a nice guy. You know, that's what we thought. I did not know that people in the industry did not like him.
Behind the glamorous red carpets and cheeky interviews, insiders say they wield fear like a weapon. According to that exec, crew members often dreaded working with them, describing their vibe as icy, dismissive, and hostile behind the smile.
So this comes straight from the source who was talking to someone from Sony. As you might know, Sony was the studio behind It Ends With Us. Anyway, so they were having this discussion in front of a lot of people, talking about some celebrity that wasn't really behaving well. And then the Sony rep said, at least she's not as bad as Blake Lively. And then my colleague said, it's so weird that Ryan Reynolds is married to her. What does he see in her? She's so horrible. And then the Sony rep said, he's horrible too. He's a horrible person. Both of them are horrible to work with. And I was like, wow, she said that in front of a lot of people. And I was like,
but here's where things take a darker turn. While Blake's name is front and center in the It Ends With Us scandal, sources are now pointing fingers at Ryan Reynolds as the one quietly pulling the strings. The off-screen Deadpool reportedly coordinated strategy, silenced dissent, and managed the couple's media image as lawsuits loomed. The power couple wasn't just defending a movie, they were allegedly burying people under it.
Gives me kind of hope that a lot of people are seeing through this whole scam that they're doing right now, trying to convince people that there was SH on the set and that there was actually a smear campaign. As I've been talking a lot about lately, my colleagues here on YouTube, other content creators who have been subpoenaed.
So, when Blake's deposition in the It Ends With Us chaos was announced, it was expected to be a popcorn moment. But instead, eerie silence, postponements, cryptic legal filings, and a pattern of dodging that didn't sit right with anyone. What started as a routine legal process turned into a slow-motion PR disaster. According to Justin Baldoni's legal team, Blake, or let's be real, Team Reynolds, was trying to outmaneuver the courts, canceled deposition dates, convenient scheduling conflicts, and filings full of legal acrobatics. What the public once saw as Hollywood's class act was now being dissected as a master of distraction and delay. Twitter exploded with outrage. Blake was no longer the Golden Girl. She was now Boozeless Lively, a nickname that started in the filings and spiraled into fan fury.
And now Ryan, the day we're subpoenaed, like day after we're all subpoenaed, he's out there with yet another award. How many damn awards does this guy need, Nate? Will it ever satisfy him? I don't think that's humanly possible.
But the real bombshell came in the form of accusations that go far beyond missed court dates. Blake and Ryan are now being painted as the orchestrators of a calculated smear campaign during the chaotic development of the film. Whispers became witness statements. Creatives, assistants, and marketing staff allegedly began lawyering up, describing workplace manipulation, intimidation, and destroyed careers. And in the middle of it, Baldoni, once the wholesome filmmaker, now rebranded as a legal crusader, stepping forward and saying he was the one forced to clean up their mess. With Perez Hilton amplifying the drama, publishing court transcripts, leaking filings, the media narrative shifted. This wasn't about one actress avoiding a deposition. This was about the alleged abuse of power in an industry that too often protects its elite.
And we have now heard directly from Blake Ruin Your Livelihood's lawyer that she will be there.
Then came the turning point. Team Lively's PR machine spun into overdrive. Suddenly, her legal team emerged from the fog of contradictions and issued a crystal-clear statement. She will appear for her deposition. July 17th, 9 a.m. Manhattan. Done.
She is expected on Thursday, July 17th, to show up at the law offices of MSF at 125 Park Avenue, 7th floor in Manhattan at 9 a.m. Blake Lyerly's attorneys tell the judge that she will be showing up next week for her deposition. This is in a letter where she agrees to grant benevolently an extension to 2 employees of Melissa Nathan's The Agency Group.
The statement was buried inside a larger legal letter granting document extension requests to 2 agency staffers. But its message was loud and clear. She wasn't dodging. She was ready. Or was she? Because buried in that same filing was an attack, accusing Baldoni's side and their third-party witnesses of being the real delay artists. The tone? Righteous. The strategy? Distraction. And the court? Exhausted. One day, extensions were turning into weeks of chaos. That July 17th deposition now looms like a finale to a show we didn't ask for, but can't stop watching. Legal filings show the agency staff, Catherine Cassis and Brianna Butler-Kozlow, were granted extensions for document production. But the court also laid down the law. Deliver everything feasibly possible by July 17th, or else. That's one day before Lively walks in. Coincidence? Doubtful. Even Perez couldn't hide his glee, gleefully inviting mommy sleuths and paparazzi to film her arrival. Suddenly, this wasn't just litigation, it was reality TV executive produced by Karma. Still, Lively's team isn't backing down. Their language in filings turned sharp, talking about substantial and recurring patterns of delay and non-cooperation from the Wayfarer team. But what they failed to mention? That their side had also been hit with accusations of stonewalling, discovery, and ghosting on deadlines. Legal ping-pong was in full effect. Motions were filed, then denied, then amended. One day, extensions became scandalous headlines. And while the court tried to mediate, the public was forced to decide. Who's the true villain? The charming actress turned litigator? Or the once beloved director now claiming whistleblower status? At the heart of it all lies one truth no one wants to say out loud. This case isn't just about a botched adaptation or missed deadlines. It's about how Hollywood treats creative labor, how influence is weaponized, and how fast reputations collapse when the internet gets receipts. If Lively shows up on the 17th and actually answers under oath, this saga could explode into something far bigger. Defamation suits, perjury charges, reputational death spirals. If she doesn't, the court of public opinion may already have its verdict. As it stands, Judge Lyman seems exhausted with the kindergarten-level finger-pointing. In the latest order, the court simply said, produce the documents and stop the games. But with every new filing, the theatrics only escalate. Perez Hilton might call it delicious, but industry insiders are rattled. This lawsuit is lifting the velvet curtain on how deals are made, how stars protect their image, and how quickly collaborators turn into courtroom enemies. As July 17th approaches, tensions are boiling. Will the deposition go forward? Will documents be produced? Will we finally hear Blake's side, under oath, on record, with no Instagram filter? Or will this unravel even further, dragging more names into the legal spotlight? From what we've seen so far, one thing is certain, nobody's walking out of this clean.